Yo, what is good, YouTube? Krishan checking back in with another video. In this video, we will be comparing Chris Bumstead from the 2016 North Americans, where he turned pro, to 2021 Mr. Olympia, where he will win his third consecutive title in the classic physique division. Now, Chris Bumstead actually isn't talked about a lot, probably because he doesn't post as many updates as he used to. I'm not sure if you guys know, but Chris Bumstead is part owner of Raw or Revive, or either both. So pretty much every IFBB pro is partnered with a supplement company, but Chris Bumstead is actually a part owner of a supplement company while still competing, which is incredible. So let's start this comparison off. So taking a look at this front double bicep, and the first thing that jumps out to me was probably be the lats. You know, just the amount of size that he has put on his upper body. Chris actually looks like he has a very long torso in 2016, but I wonder if he actually has a longer torso and he's posing a little better, or has he just put on so much size that his torso looks a bit smaller now. I think it's just the fact that he put on so much size in the upper torso heap, guys. Just incredible. Now we take a look at the quads. He's definitely put some size on, but for some reason I slightly prefer the look of the quads in 2016. I'm not 100% sure what it is. They're smaller, I believe. I think they may be a little bit more separated, possibly, guys, but that's just my personal take on it. And the arms have came up a bit as well. Now, this image on the left is actually from the 2017 Mr. Olympia, because NPC did not post all of the poses from 2016. So the first thing that I noticed in this shot will probably be the chest. Honestly, the far pec in both of these side chests are just incredible, guys, and the execution from 2021 is a lot better, I believe. I believe it's a more classic version of this pose. And of course, in 2017, these guys are wearing trunks, so we can't really see the glutes or the hamstring glute tie-in as well from the side. Shoulder looks a bit odd in 2017 though, guys. I'm not sure about that. Now, his arm definitely seems to be more defined, I believe, in 2017, but arm is definitely a lot bigger in 2021. And if you guys don't remember, the arms and the back were two areas that Chris Bumstead really needed to bring up. Now back to the 2016 version, you can see here, guys, Chris Bumstead almost had no back at all. And honestly, does this back double bicep from 2016 remind you guys of anyone? I'm not gonna say anything, but if you have someone in mind, leave it in the comment section below. I've said it numerous times, but Chris Bumstead made the biggest jump in his back from 2019 to 2020, arguably one of the most incredible bodybuilding transformations in 1 year. You know, he took one of his worst body parts to one of his best, which is honestly just incredible, especially with the back. You know, the back and the legs are two very hard groups to turn from a weak point to a strong point, and Chris just constantly seems to be improving. He seems to have a bit more glute, however, in 2017, but that doesn't really matter. And Chris Bumstead actually tore his right hamstring, which actually makes it look a lot more separated now. But incredible, guys, the improvements this Chris Bumstead has made from year to year. It would take a lot of guys years. Some guys would never make these improvements, in all honesty, guys, taking nothing away from them at all. And next, we're going to take a look at this ab and thigh shot, and the first thing that jumps out to me, the quads, guys. Actually, the quads, I somewhat prefer the quads in 2016. I'm not sure why. The quads seem to be a bit bigger, but they also almost seem to be shorter, maybe. I'm not sure what it is, guys, but I definitely prefer the quads in 2016. Now, Chris Bumstead definitely appeared to have a longer torso in 2016, but it looks like he's put so much mass on his physique that his torso seems to have shrank almost, guys. Like when he pulls the vacuum, look at the distance it takes up in 2016 versus 2021. Which is just incredible. It's like he's changed his structure almost. Now we're going to take a look at a couple of classic poses. There aren't too many, but the main takeaway from here, guys, is just execution. Chris is hitting his pose a lot better. And the shoulder does look a bit weird in 2017, guys. As I stated in an earlier pose, I believe it was the side chest pose. Shoulder definitely looking a little bit off, especially the rear delt area. But Chris Bumstead, incredible physique even from the start, guys. And honestly, if he executed this pose a bit better, and this goes into what I'm saying, guys. You see how Chris has improved his posing over time, and it makes his physique look a lot better. In 2017, just if Chris was executing that pose a little bit better, it would look a lot better. Now we're going to take a look at this front lat spread comparison, and it honestly matches up pretty well, guys. Chris has brought up his chest a little bit. It seems that's something that jumps out to me. The lats have came up a little bit, but even in 2016, he had those flaring lats. I actually seem to prefer the quads in 2021 here. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's just the angle of some of these shots, but the quads look better in 2016, 2017. They're just to me personally. Personal preference, guys. Midsection also seems to be a lot tighter in 2021. You guys can see a lot more ab separation. Look at the biceps. The arms have definitely came up as well. And Chris also has some pretty good calves. Now, I want to share this image. This is actually from the 2017 Mr. Olympia. Just a couple of incredible shots of Chris Bumstead. And honestly, Chris doesn't hit either one of these poses now. I would guess he probably thinks they look a little bit more like bodybuilding poses, but I love this pose on the left, this variation of a most muscular. Rafa Brandao hits this shot, and guys that have the arms and the delts, maybe why Chris Bumstead doesn't hit this shot. You know, if he had better arms, it would definitely be a lot better, but this is still a great execution, and those quads make up for it. And even the face, guys, Chris Bumstead, good face, guys, good face to say the least, but Chris Bumstead should definitely hit both of these poses, I believe. And man, if this guy was an open class bodybuilder, but I'm not sure if you guys know, Chris Bumstead actually has an immune disease that kind of stops him from getting a little bit bigger. I'm not sure of the ins and outs of that 100%. I think it affects his kidney some, and that's why prior to his second Olympia win, he hadn't made as many improvements to his back. You know, the year that Chris Bumstead made the jump in the back improvements, that was the first year that his condition wasn't really bothering him. And Chris said the condition was bothering him so bad, I don't think he had a cheat meal for like years. Like maybe 3 or 4 years where he just wasn't having any cheat meals at all. But Chris Bumstead, probably the most dominating Olympia champion we have right now. I mean, we also have Big Rami. We also have Andrea Shaw in women's bodybuilding, who is incredible. Cannot forget about her. But finishing up here with these last two shots, and big credits to Chris Bumstead on his twisting back double bicep. This may be the best execution of this pose since Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. This pose is probably the pose that gets butchered, and a lot of guys honestly just can't hit it. They don't really know the mechanics of it. But I'm pretty sure you guys can agree this may be better than Arnold's. You know, he doesn't have the Arnold arms, but great execution. And on the right, he hits this before hitting the front leg spread. Urs Kalasinski also does the same. Dorian Yates used to do this before he pulled his front leg spread. And Chris is a guy, when he poses, he comes alive, you know. If you're looking at Chris just walking around, you probably wouldn't think he looks as good as he looks. But once Chris Bumstead walks out on this stage and hits a front leg spread, it's lights out, guys. Like, everyone should just go home. When you see Chris Bumstead walking out, he looks pretty good. But as soon as he hits a pose, guys, it's just lights out. But as always, I hope you guys did indeed enjoy this video, man. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm Krishan from Go Fitness, and I'm out.